I'm delighted to welcome today a very interesting lady, Denise Michelle Johnson. Welcome to the podcast, Denise.
Oh, thank you, Elaine. I appreciate you having me.
And listeners can tell by your accent that you're not from the UK. So tell us a bit about where you are now, where you're from.
I am not from the UK. I have visited the UK and I love it there. But I'm originally from the St. Louis area and moved up to the New York, Connecticut area when my dad's job transferred us up here. And so I've been up here for quite a long time. Since I went to school up in Connecticut, I went to college in Connecticut, and I'm splitting my time between the New York tri-state area and the Nashville, Tennessee area.
Nashville is a big music fraternity down there, isn't there?
Yeah, Nashville and New York are great. Both of them are great for music. And as you know, I am an actress and a singer and a songwriter as well. So it's good that I have family in Nashville and I can, kind of still pursue my music in Nashville and come back and forth between New York and Nashville and do what I can do.
Wonderful. It's good to have flexibility, isn't it? Whatever we do, however we live our lives, stuck in one box, no fun, not from my point of view anyway. So let's get into your background, because how we connected was actually through the support you give to Professor Dr. Dana Flavin, isn't it? So you were organising an interview with me for her, and then I noticed your email address and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I wonder what you do. Is it something like Actress That Works or something like that, wasn't it? Your
Actress Who Works. Yeah, I'm putting that out into the universe there, Actress Who Works, to attract more work into my life. But it's interesting how Dr. Flavin and I connected. I was actually temping, as a lot of actors and singers do. We have other jobs besides just acting and singing. And I actually started temping for her. And then I ended up being her assistant. And now I'm the vice president of her foundation. I help run her nonprofit. And she's just one of the most amazing women, smartest women I know. And she's helping so many people. She is the cancer whisperer. That's what I call her. And I'm happy to be the one assisting her in doing this wonderful work that she's doing. And so many people are turning around, getting better, and I get to help with that. And she was doing telemedicine long before it's become popular, like in the last couple of years. So we have patients and clients all over the world. So I help organize that. I help run her foundation. And she's been so supportive of me. She's also someone who has a lot of creative talents besides being a physician and a scientist. She wrote a musical called Greed that we are in the process of trying to get to Broadway. And we have a producer there in the West End, as you call it, the West End, that's the Broadway of London, who is kind of attached to the project. And we're looking to get more people on board and investors and all that. So she's always been supportive of my creative endeavors and giving me the flexibility to pursue what I want to pursue while working for her.
Wonderful. And I think that's a real key behind every successful person, is to be doing day to day what you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about something, it's not work, is it? It's an enjoyment.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, since I was little, I always knew I wanted to act, I wanted to sing, and it's a passion for it. And whether I got paid for it or not, I would still do it. And I was looking at your background is just amazing. I feel like I should be interviewing you. I've done a lot of that type of stuff. I've interviewed some celebrities and radio and on camera, and I enjoy being the person interviewing rather than being the interviewee. But I love your interview style, and I love all the things that you've done, and you're quite the inspiration to me. So thank you for that. And I'm sure you've helped so many people along the way. So
yes, and helped myself. It's we do what we do regardless of whether we get paid or not. And
yes,
I've made the mistake of getting the balance wrong and being a bit of a pauper these days. But I'm happy. I've got the best thing I can possibly have, which is my health, and you can't put a price on it, can you? So
you can't. without your health, you can't. There's nothing. You can't do anything. I mean, you can do stuff, but it's like to have that is wealth. Health is wealth.
Absolutely. So tell us a bit about the things that you've been involved with, because acting and singing and songwriting you know, performing generally. There's a huge range that you've been involved with. You kindly sent me some information beforehand, and I was going, wow, wow, wow. Every time I looked at something, oh my God.
Well, I started, you know, with school plays and musicals and things like that, and always grew up in the church, and that's something I'm continuing now. I actually do worship leading at the church I'm currently at. So I was doing that in New York for a couple of different ministries, and now the church I am in Nashville, I'm working with some Grammy Award winning producers and musicians, which is amazing. There's a lot of talented people there, and but I've always, you know, been in that vein. I went to college. I majored in history and theater, and then I've done a lot of. I'm in the unions, Screen Actors Guild and Actors Equity, and I've been doing professional regional theater, some off Broadway. I've been auditioning for Broadway, and been involved in some. I still do a lot, like all aspects of, I guess you could call, acting. So I do voice work, print work. I've done music videos. I've done, you know, theater, some TV, a lot of independent films, and just want to continue that. But as you know, because of COVID, a lot of that has been curtailed in the last, you know, year and a half plus for a lot of artists. So it's been very interesting out here trying to make a living doing your art.
Mm. And I was going to say, how do you manage to kind of do the switch? Because healthcare and administration must seem very boring in some regards. I know you kind of override it because of the people that you help, but it's a huge contrast, isn't it? Behind the scenes to in front of, you know, on stage.
Well, yes, but I've always loved it. You know, I've always loved science, but when I got to chemistry, I was telling this to Dr. Flavin the other day, it's just like, chemistry just went over my head. So there's no way that I could have done, I did well in biology. There's no way I could have done biochem. So I wouldn't have gotten very far, but I've always had an interest in science, and my mother is in pathology, and then just working with Dr. Flavin is like kind of a natural thing for me. So because it's so flexible and the majority of our stuff is done online, it gives me a great deal of flexibility to do her work, but also be able to go audition when auditions start up again, and just kind of pursue the things I want to pursue. So it's not a traditional, you know, 9 to 5 off. And I've done a lot of that work. And so I had to make that transition. I felt God opened a door for me to work with Dr. Flavin, and give me the flexibility, and somebody who's so understanding, and you know, we both support each other with the science and with the creative endeavors.
Wonderful. Tell us about your latest, well, I think it's your latest. You're involved with an upcoming documentary about Michael. I
do. Yes, it's a really interesting story, believe it or not. Dr. Flavin's niece connected with a gentleman almost 10 years ago in California, and he was looking for a singer. He was doing a nationwide search for a singer for the documentary he wanted to do called The Broken Heart Stone. And it's about Michael Jackson, like the last piece of his legacy. I'll actually show you the book here. I have it with me. And I think I'm going to email it to you. Broken Heart Stone.
Yeah, Broken Heart Stone.
World's most famous fanprint, Michael Jackson, King of Pop. So originally he wanted to do a documentary, but he ended up doing a book. But he was looking for song submissions, and I wrote a song called Michael's Broken Heart Stone, and that song was selected out of all the people who submitted nationwide. And the book comes out like this, and then the CD is here in the back of the book that has my song on it. Even though people aren't really using CDs anymore, it is available in a digital format. So the song came with the book. And so we kind of went about it. He kind of ended up doing the book first, and now we've been working on for the last year the documentary to this book. And I had the privilege of performing the song that I wrote for Michael Jackson's mother and his family a few years ago in Gary, Indiana, which is where they're from. And a lot of people love the song, but we want to get the legacy of Michael. The Broken Heart Stone, he actually has a crack in the middle of his hand, but actually an actual heart in his left hand. And people don't really realize that. And we want that to be like the universal symbol of love from Michael, because he's been a controversial figure, but we've done our own investigation and people that I know behind the scenes with him, and he's been vindicated in many ways. And he's done so much for humanity. I think he's the Guinness Book World Record for, donations to humanity and helping people with cancer and children and just everybody. So we want it to be like a kind of a worldwide symbol for hope, especially now in these times, for love, to maybe spotlight different organizations and charities and to help them and to sort of use it as a uniting symbol for people. But there's a whole story of how this the stone, which is actually now in the forecourt of the Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. It was in the basement for 20 years. It's its impressions were in the basement of 20 years of the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas. Andrew found it, sold his, I think he sold his Aston Martin. He sold something. He sold his car in order to keep it in America because some people in the Middle East wanted to acquire it because he felt it should be for all of Michael's fans and so that everybody could have access to it. So now the stone sits in the forecourt of the Chinese Theater. So there's a whole story and lots of fan stories that kind of brought this to life. So what we're endeavoring to do is to bring the story to life as a documentary. And we're looking for investors still. We have some like one investor on board right now, but we're still looking for investors for it. So anyone, if you know anyone or if anyone is interested, I will give Elaine contact information. I'll mention that at the end of our interview.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, you never know, do you? You never know that somebody might inherit something, or somebody might know somebody. So that's how things work, isn't it? Doors open.
Absolutely. And Andrew is amazing. He's actually a world Kung Fu champion, believe it or not. That's how he met Michael back in the 90s, and that's how they connected in the first place. And he was working on a project with him, and then, things went awry, but we're endeavoring to get this story out because of that.
Wonderful. And well, I've shared on my Facebook post, I've shared the trailer for the documentary that you sent to me. And
excellent.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to share your song or not. I've listened to it and it's absolutely
please,
beautiful.
yes.
Is that okay?
Oh, thank you. You're very kind. Yeah, no, please share. We want to get it out. We want to get out to the fans. We want to get it out to people who love Michael. So please, yes, I appreciate you sharing the song and the trailer.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Seems to be a music day today because I used to run a health radio show when I was in the UK, and I do things by podcast now, but I've missed the live interaction, and I'm looking forward to. I've been invited to host another radio show, so that's really interesting for me.
Excellent!
And then this morning, Jarmaine's mother sent me. Do you know Jarmaine? He's a gospel singer, and is amazing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's an amazing guy, and he's up for 3 UMA awards. What do they call them? I can't think what it stands for.
Is this in the UK?
No, no, Beyonce's on the list and all kinds of fancy people. I can't think what it stands for. UMA awards. United Music Award. No, Urban Music Awards.
Is this an award out of the UK?
Well, Beyonce.
I mean, they honor everybody, but I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that came up, and then you're here. So I've had 3 music things today. So I think that's a sign. That's a sign. I've got to get back into it.
Oh wow.
So what's your favourite thing that you've done? What's your favourite show or song or performance that you've done?
That's so hard. That's so hard to say. I mean, I started in stage work, and that's what I love to do. Like, I think musicals, even though I've done like some, straight plays, but I love incorporating, the singing and the acting. So my dream, I've been called back for Broadway, and then I just continue to audition, but right now kind of auditions are at a standstill, but I'm continuing. I want to get that Broadway credit, that would be the ultimate thing for me. But I'm definitely open to more television, film. Atlanta is not too far from where I am when I'm living in Nashville. So I'm planning to go back and forth there a bit if there's work, trying to go where the work is. So there's a lot of work happening in Atlanta. Los Angeles is a little bit kind of, that's off the table for me right now, but just trying to, wherever the work is where I'll go. So I don't really have a specific favorite thing that I've done, but I love doing it all. It's like work is work, you know?
Oh, but it's not really work though, is it? To me, work
It's not really
work is something that people go, oh God, I've got to go to work. As you say, you do it anyway. It's what gets you up in the morning, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, it's work, but it's like, you're right. I agree. It's work, but it's not work. And when you love what you do, it's just like, all I know is time goes by quickly. You don't think about it, and you just live it. I had a acting teacher I loved, who she's passed now, but she was amazing. I learned probably more from her than anybody than I studied with in college. Her name was Tina Satin. She was good friends with Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee and Sidney Poitier, and she ran in those circles. And she was an amazing acting teacher. And what she taught me is that acting is spiritual work. So it's like, I've always been a spiritual person, but it's like when she told that to me, I was like, yeah, it is. It helps people. You put these stories out. It helps people get in touch with their emotions. It makes people think. You can change people with art. So whether that's singing, whether that's acting. So to me, that's like, I feel like that's part of my calling. I think there's the work that you might have to do to survive, and then there's your calling. So I'm trying to walk more in my calling. And that includes doing inspirational music as well. I always have, but I think I'm called to do like a maybe contemporary Christian gospel album. So that's something that I'm working towards as well.
Well, having heard your voice, I would say you can lend it to any style at all. You whatever you put your mind to, whatever you put your voice to. It's a beautiful, beautiful voice. And I'm going to share the song. As I say, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to or not.
No,
but,
please.
I will share that. It's fabulous. So
Thank
what
you,
would be your tips, Denise, to young people? Well, I mean, maybe even old people who want to pursue their dream. I mean, are there any kind of hot tips that you can pass on?
Well, I would say you need to decide. It's just like, you got to love what you're doing, and it shouldn't be like, the money shouldn't be the motivating factor, because I feel like when you're doing what you're supposed to do, the money is going to come, but you have to be persistent. Don't worry about being told no, because I know when I'm in auditions, it's like, you can't take it personally, but just keep pursuing it. If this is the dream that you have, if you feel like this is what you're supposed to do, it's something you do, you work on it daily. It's something that you work on daily. You put some sort of effort forth daily. You keep going to the auditions, you keep working on the music, you keep, doing what it is that you love. And I feel like the rewards will come with that persistence, that when you put those 10,000 hours in, as people talk about, and you keep being persistent with it. And you can, and visualize what you want. Visualize yourself doing it, and do it.
Absolutely, that makes such a difference, isn't it? The visualization, the positivity, and again, it relates to the health side of things. Being persistent, not accepting no, just going for it, and visualizing your end outcome. So, how can people hear you? I'm going to share, and my PA will put beneath this video. But how can people find you? And if there are any budding entrepreneurs who want to finance either the Michael Jackson documentary or the Greed UK performance in the West End, how do they get hold of you?
Okay, well, I'm going to give a couple things out. First, I'm going to give Andrew St. Wilson. His Facebook page has like all of Michael Jackson's fans on it. People have been reaching out to us there. So that's probably the best way. And also his email address. So if people go to Facebook and put in Andrew and then Saint, instead of spelling Saint out the full way, you put ST period, and then Wilson, WILSON. You'll find his page, and there's tons of information there about Michael Jackson. Reach out to him via Messenger. Also, his email address is andrewstwilson@gmail.com, and that's Andrew, ANDREW, ST Wilson, WILSTON. I'm sorry, WILSON andrew@gmail.com, Andrew St. Wilson at gmail.com. They can also reach out to me. Probably the best email address to get me on is actresswhoworks. So it's actresswhoworks @yahoo.com. I also have a personal Facebook page, fan page as Denise Michelle. I can be found on Facebook that way. And with regards to greed, I'm going to give out a phone number, and this is Dana Flavin, and our phone number is 203-987-5322, and that will ring. We'll be able to get that either in the UK or wherever. People can call from wherever, and we'll be able to access that.
So that's a UK number.
It's not. It's a number that it's an American phone number. It will also ring in the UK. So it'll be transferred to the UK. Brilliant. So yeah.
Fabulous. Well, I'm going to go and play that song again now. Absolutely wonderful. The Broken Heartstone. Is that what it's called? Broken?
Yes, Michael's Broken Heartstone.
Yeah, Broken Heartstone that you wrote.
Yes.
And sang.
Yes, I wrote. Yes.
Fabulous. Well, I'm going to play that and put a link underneath for people to listen to as well. Thank you so much, Denise. It's a
Elaine, thank you so much. I appreciate you.